Class, this is the solution for first review sheet. Let's try to look into this question first. Now, we need to show that each one of these given examples are either commutative, distributive, associative, and so forth and so on. So let us try to look at the first one. You see how 47 here has been factored in. So therefore, in fact, this is an example of distributive property. Now, how about number B? When we multiply those two numbers, ended up being 1. 1 is the identity. So therefore, producing the identity, that means these two are multiplicative inverse. And the third one, normally in this case, what we would have done is we would have add up x and y first from left to right. But in this case, instead of doing that, we are adding y and z first. So therefore, this would have been associative property. And here, we multiplied pi with another number, so-called 1, and then ended up getting itself. So in fact, this will be multiplicative identity. All right. How about here? Similarly to D, we end up getting itself, but in this case, it was the operation was addition. So therefore, we will have additive identity. And the last one. Here, it looks like associative property, but if you look at it, we are changing the order here. So in fact, what we are doing is commutative property. And here, we add up two numbers, end up getting 0, which used to be the identity. So in fact, this will be additive inverse. And here we once again have trying to associate AB versus BC. So therefore, we'll end up getting associative property. All right, let's move on to number 2. Here, this question we already have done it in class. So what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna mark the answers. So the negative 13 would be integer and rational. 0 would be in fact starting from whole number. Notice that there's a 0 right over there. So whole, integer, rational. Now here, you see that repeating decimal? That means it may not be natural, whole, or integer, but it will be a rational number. And fraction, ratio, ratio now number, hence it will be rational number. But in this case, since we have a non-repeating decimal, which means we will end up getting irrational number. All right, let's move on. Number 3. Now, this square will be in fact distributed onto 3 and also 4 in a way that we will have 3 squared times x to the 4 times 2. That means 3 squared becomes 9 and 4 times 2 becomes 8. So this becomes our final answer, which is choice number 3. All right. Now here, unlike the last question, we just have to divide. Now when you look at 27 and then 9 becomes 3. Here when we divide, what do? We subtract. So therefore we'll end up getting x to the 12th power because 18 minus 6. Here when there's nothing, we know that 1 is hidden, therefore we have y to the 4th power. So we are looking at our answer to be number 1. Now, here we are multiplying, so 3 times 4 becomes 12. X squared times x becomes x to the 3rd power, and y to the 4th, and y squared becomes y to the 6th power. Now, then this definitely looks like this one, number 4. All right, let us move on. Number 6. Now here we have to realize that each and 2x is multiplying, dividing each and every term. So if you have to rewrite it, then this becomes 12x cubed divided by 2x minus 6x squared divided by 2x and plus 2x divided by 2x. And here, this portion becomes 6x squared minus 3x, because we have to subtract the exponent right here, 2 and 1. The last one is plus 1. And we will end up getting this one as our answer. Now, how are we going to solve for this? One way which we can do it is we can multiply 3 over 5 to the both terms. Then we will end up getting something like this. 3 over 5x plus 6 over 5, which equals x minus 4. Now, if you just subtract 3 over 5x from both of them and add 4, then we'll be getting something like this. First, we will realize that these two are cancelled out. Now, let us go back to calculation. Here we have, this is 4 is 20 over 5, so therefore we end up getting 26 over 5. On the right side, we have 1 is hidden, 1 minus 3/5, then we are left with 2/5x. Now notice that both denominators are 5, that means 26 here must be equal to 2x. That means x must be equal to 13. And that becomes our final answer. Alright, number 9. Now we are solving for w. I see w here. That means we need to get rid of this one first. By subtracting 2l. Then what do we end up getting, guys? We have 2w on the right side. On the left side, we will have p minus 2l. Now, since what we want is w only, we have to divide by 2. Notice that we are dividing the whole thing by 2, so we end up getting w equals p minus 2l over 2, which would have been choice number 2. Alright, so let's try looking to this one. So rectangular window, 5 feet more than its width w. So this will be w plus 5. And then the first one will be w because the width itself. And then the area is 36. Then it simply means when we multiply those two, w plus 5 times w must be equal to 36. That's basically what they're looking for. Now, and if you're to distribute w to both of them, we will end up getting w squared plus 5w equals 36. Now notice that all the equation has zeros at the end. In the first half that we gotta subtract by 36. Then we would have gotten w squared plus 5w minus 36 equals to 0. There it goes. Now, therefore, we have our answer to choice number 4. Number 11. Now, all we have to do is just like an equation, we just have to subtract 3 from both sides. And we'll be getting 5x has to be greater than 35. Of course, just like the other numbers, divide by 5, then x has to be greater than 7. Not equal to, but greater than 7. That means only answer that's possible will be choice number 4. Alright, let us keep on moving on here. So we have 8.05 and then 3.5. Now, if I had a calculator, what I would have done is this. I would have multiplied these two things together and then these two things together. Then we would have gotten something like this. 3.05 times 8.05 times 3.5 would have been about 23-ish. Now, and then when I multiply 10 to the 6 times 10 squared, becomes simply 10 to the 8th power. Now, but in order for it to be the scientific notation, we need to move the decimal from here to here, so we end up getting 2.3 times 10 to the 9th power because we increased by 1. So therefore, oh, I'm sorry, we are looking for the quotient, not the product. I'm sorry, we'll try to redo it. Quotient, that means we have to 8.05 times 10 to the 6 over 3.5 times 10 to the 2nd. Then this becomes, yes, about 2.3-ish times 10 to the 4th because you need to subtract the exponents. All right, hey, we have to read the question carefully. First, I have to, I guess. All right, number 13. Now, perpendicular. How do you know if something is perpendicular or not? The slopes is negative reciprocal of the original slope. So what is the original slope here? By subtracting 2x, we will get y equals negative 2x minus 8. So what we are doing here is getting the negative reciprocal of negative 2. So negative negative becomes positive. Reciprocal of 2 becomes 1/2. So therefore, our answer is this one. All right, now next. Number 14. Now the slope is equal to negative 5. That means we are looking at 3 or 1. But has to pass through point 2 comma negative 9. What I can do is, in fact, I can just plug in 2 and negative 9 and see which one of them works. Now let me try to put this one here. Negative 9 equals negative 5 times 2 plus 1. Will they be true? Negative 5 times 2 that becomes negative 10 plus 1. Oh, wait a minute. What is that equal to? Negative 9? A was originally negative 9 also. So therefore, choice 3 worked. And that is our answer. All right, number 15. Parallel. That means same slope. So what is the slope here? By subtracting 2x, then we will be getting negative 4y equals negative 2x plus 16. Now by dividing it by negative 4, we would have gotten y equals 1/2 x minus 4. So which one of them has 1/2? Positive 1/2 x. It will be this one, choice number 1. All right, number 16. Now speed, how do you calculate the speed? It will be distance over time. Now distance is 60 miles. Time is 5, so therefore we end up getting about 12 miles per hour. Therefore, this becomes our answer. All right, one more question in part 1. Which one of the relation is not a function? Not a function. Function, that means only one value of x has to have one value of y. Now, but when you look at it, number 2, we have 2 times 0 has been repeated as a value of x. So therefore, this 0 has either 0 or negative 9, meaning has 2 y values. So therefore, this cannot be a function. Now this one, the keyword is from, so therefore we have to try. We have to do this one first. 7x squared minus 2x plus 4, whole thing, and then minus 3x squared plus x minus 5. So then, of course, 7x squared minus 3x squared becomes a 4x squared. Now, minus 2x minus positive x, that means what? Negative 3x, and 4 minus negative, so it becomes 9. So anything that's similar to this one, all right, number 3 seems to be the answer.